Hello, everyone. Welcome to Celsius 233, your go-to place for fiction book summaries. Today, we will immerse ourselves in 10 Years Later by Alexandre Dumas. 10 Years Later is the third book in Alexandre Dumas' D'Artagnan romances series, following the Three Musketeers and 20 Years After. Published in 1848, this novel continues the adventures of D'Artagnan, the loyal musketeer, along with his comrades Athos, Porthos, and Aramis. Set in the royal courts of France and England, it covers historical events such as the downfall of Nicolas Fouquet, the rise of Colbert, and the mysterious story of the man in the iron mask. The title refers to the period that has passed since the events of 20 years after, marking a time of political intrigue, shifting alliances, and personal dilemmas for the aging musketeers. Plot summary. The year is 1660, and 10 years have passed since the musketeers were last united in the tumultuous days of France's Civil War. D'Artagnan, ever loyal and skilled, has remained in the service of King Louis XIV, though the world around him has changed. The young king, once guided by ministers, is now growing into his role as an absolute ruler, and his ambitions stretch far beyond the court's boundaries. D'Artagnan, eager for action and restless in his position, awaits his next mission from the king. Meanwhile, his former comrades, Athos, Porthos, and Aramis, have gone their separate ways, living quieter lives, yet fate will soon pull them back into the swirl of political intrigue and personal conflict. Louis XIV's court is a place of splendor, but also a den of dangerous ambition. Nicolas Fouquet, the superintendent of finances, is a man of great wealth and even greater political aspirations. He has fortified the island of Belle Isle, drawing the king's suspicion. Louis, increasingly influenced by the calculating Jean-Baptiste Colbert, sees Fouquet as a threat. Colbert, eager to replace Fouquet and consolidate his own power, fuels the king's mistrust. It is in this tense atmosphere that D'Artagnan is sent on a secret mission to investigate Belle Isle and report back to the king. D'Artagnan's journey to Belle Isle confirms the island's strong fortifications. However, when he returns to report, he is met with unexpected news. The king already possesses detailed plans of Belle Isle's defenses, and it soon becomes clear that Aramis, now the Bishop of Vannes, is deeply involved. Aramis, ever ambitious and cunning, has grander plans in motion. He seeks to use his position within the church and the secrets he has uncovered to elevate himself, aiming to place a mysterious prisoner, known only as the man in the iron mask, on the throne of France, in place of Louis XIV. This prisoner, as Aramis learns, is none other than the king's twin brother, hidden away for years to prevent any challenge to Louis's rule. Aramis's plotting is masterful, and he carefully draws Porthos into his schemes, though Porthos, as always, is more concerned with loyalty to his friends than with the complexities of politics. Aramis convinces Porthos that their actions are for the good of France, and the two set in motion a daring plan to replace Louis with his brother. Meanwhile, D'Artagnan grows suspicious of his old comrade's intentions, but remains loyal to the king, determined to uncover the truth behind the political maneuverings. As the plot thickens, a darker, more personal drama unfolds. Réal, the Vicomte de Bragelonne and the beloved son of Athos, is deeply in love with Louise de la Vallière, one of the king's ladies-in-waiting. His love, however, is unrequited. Louise has caught the eye of the king himself, and despite her initial resistance, she is drawn into an affair with Louis. Réal, heartbroken and betrayed, seeks solace in the counsel of his father, Athos. Athos, though noble and wise, can offer little comfort to his son. The pain of Réal's lost love and the disillusionment with court life drive the young Vicomte into a spiral of despair. Despite Athos's pleas for patience and honor, Réal volunteers for a dangerous military mission in North Africa, seeking death in battle as an escape from his heartbreak. As Réal heads toward his fate, D'Artagnan finds himself at the center of the king's plans to arrest Fouquet. Louis, under Colbert's influence, decides that Fouquet must be removed before his ambitions grow too large. D'Artagnan, despite his personal feelings of respect for Fouquet, follows the king's orders and apprehends the superintendent in a spectacular show of loyalty. Fouquet's fall from grace is swift and brutal, and he is imprisoned, awaiting his final judgment. Throughout these events, D'Artagnan struggles with his duty, torn between his loyalty to the crown and his friendship with those who stand against it. Meanwhile, Aramis's plot to replace the king is on the verge of success. He and Porthos have managed to position the man in the Iron Mask in a place where he could be switched with Louis XIV. However, the king, through D'Artagnan's sharp intuition and unwavering dedication, learns of the conspiracy. D'Artagnan moves quickly to thwart the plan, but in doing so, he must confront his old friends. The revelation of Aramis's betrayal is a bitter blow to D'Artagnan, yet his sense of duty to the king prevails. In the final confrontation, Aramis and Porthos are forced to flee for their lives. Aramis, ever the schemer, manages to escape into exile, but Porthos, whose strength and loyalty have always been his greatest virtues, meets a tragic end. His death is a devastating moment for his friends, especially D'Artagnan, who mourns the loss of the man who had stood by his side through countless adventures. Athos, too, suffers a great loss as news arrives that Raoul has fallen in battle. The noble musketeer, heartbroken over the death of his son, succumbs to his grief. D'Artagnan, left alone, is made captain of the king's musketeers, but the honor is bittersweet. The camaraderie he once shared with his friends is shattered, and the price of his loyalty to the crown has left him with a deep sense of sorrow. In the end, Louis XIV stands unchallenged, his position secure, but the cost of his reign is evident in the broken lives of those who served him. D'Artagnan, ever faithful, remains at the king's side, but the golden days of adventure, friendship, and honor are long gone, replaced by the harsh realities of power and ambition. That's it for now. If you loved this, don't forget to check out the rest of the D'Artagnan Romances series by Alexandre Dumas. You'll find them in the description or just search for them on Celsius 233. Remember, while our summaries capture the essence, they can never replace the full experience of reading the book. If this summary intrigued you, consider diving into the complete story, buy the book, and immerse yourself in Alexandre Dumas' original work. Bye-bye, take care, have fun.